And we are live again with another episode of Unicorn Chef. This week it's episode 16. Yeah, 16. And I am here with the wonderful Katie Maycock. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Very good, thank you.
You look extremely small from that camera angle, although that is how I generally...
I just don't want it to the top of my fridge because it's just like cat food, so I'm not going to show that. So you're just going to experience it. But to be fair, it's like real life because you're really tall.
That's true.
And I'm really short, so we're good.
Yeah, this is just how I normally look at you. So, Katie, tell us A, what we're cooking, and B, tell us what you do.
So we're cooking meatballs with pasta, not spaghetti because I don't have any spaghetti. So we're going to cook some spicy meatballs because it's delicious. And what I do is I am essentially a stress and burnout expert, and I help businesses, teams, and individuals manage their stress more effectively to drive performance and not lose profits. That's what I do.
That's a very well-rehearsed pitch. I like it.
To be fair, that was the first time I've done that specific pitch, but you know what? I was in a webinar today where I had to do something similar, so we're good.
We're good. We're good. Cool. Okay, so let's first of all start doing the cookie bit, and then we'll talk about stress and burnout, because as this is a, I guess, vaguely cybersecurity flavored podcast, stress and burnout is a big topic for that industry, and I think that's why we wanted to get you on today to kind of talk about, I guess, strategies for dealing with it, like what actually is burnout, because I think people say they're burnt out when they're just a bit tired. Yeah. I had a rough day.
Massive difference, but yes.
Yes. So we'll kind of get into that in a bit, but do we need to start cooking first? What's the first step?
So let's cut up. Do you have chilies, or are you not putting chilies in today?
I didn't go with chilies. I'm not going to lie. I'm not even eating this dinner because I'm giving it to my other half. Not because I don't want to eat it. It just sounds like a nice recipe. It's just...
I'm offended. You asked me to cook with you, and I'm cooking with you. All right. Do you have parsley?
You made this dinner last week, and I'm making it because you had the leftovers ingredients in the cupboard. So I don't feel like you have the right to be too offended. But anyway, we'll go with it. Chilies.
We'll go with it. So I'm just going to pop a chili in there, just one, you know. Do you have parsley?
I do have parsley.
All right. So let's just cut up, I don't know, a small, like a micro handful.
I'm sorry. I've got a 7-year-old coming in now asking me how. Don't be coming on the podcast. Go away.
Let me.
Right, I'll go eat your sweeties.
I don't know how to do
Okay,
it.
well, I'm talking on the podcast, so I'll talk to you later. Sorry. Yeah, I do have parsley. I was organised. I actually went shopping just before we started so that I could get the ingredients to actually make it for once.
I'm here for that.
So, yeah. Are you putting it in the blender?
You don't have to. I'm just lazy.
Okay, fair. I'm just going to chop it.
I'm just putting everything in the food processor. So, yeah.
Okay.
Has your internet gone funny again? Oh, there you are.
Yeah, no, I'm back. Don't worry. Yes. Okay. Chopping parsley. I realized that you gave very few measurements on any. It was just like parsley. Cool. Thanks.
I tried, and I was like,
yeah.
You know what? I eyeball this recipe, so like me giving you any like I gave you stuff, and I'm like, that's probably the closest I can get. So like the tomato sauce, that's what we will use. But if you like parsley, I'm like, I don't know. I just did a micro handful.
Yeah, I've just done a handful. There we go. That'll do. Right.
There
yeah.
All right. Do you have garlic? I don't even think I told you to get garlic granules. Do you have garlic granules?
Yeah, because I put them in fucking everything.
Okay, cool. So then just, I don't know, do you have a bowl there? Just, I don't know, eyeball a little bit. Just a little bit. I don't know, a little zhuzh.
A little zhuzh. I like garlic, so yeah.
Put a lot of zhuzh in there.
Anytime someone says put like 1 clove of garlic in, I'm like, you mean 5, though, right?
To be fair, this recipe is like 2, and I'm like, I normally put 6 in. So I said 4 to you to be conservative, but if we want to put 6 in, we'll put 6 in. And then, I don't know, a really good pinch of salt. Okay. I love salt. So just a pinch of salt.
Pinch.
funny thing is I'm also a nutritionist, and so I had to think about that when I was like thinking of what to cook.
You really didn't.
This is just one of my favorite dishes to make, so it's easy.
Yeah,
Just some pepper. I didn't tell you that, but put some pepper in.
got pepper. Good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did I tell you to get Parmesan?
You did.
Oh.
I like how you
I
put no idea what you told me to put in.
To be fair, I sent you the recipe on Monday because I didn't see an email. So just put, I don't know, another little zhuzh in there. Like, I don't know. Maybe
like
quarter cup.
Me and Maggie have the rule. If I ask Maggie what the rule about cheese is, she will tell you can never have too much cheese.
Well, that's how I feel about this recipe. There's never enough cheese.
Cheesy. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to preheat my oven, I just realised. Preheat your oven to 200.
Oh, okay, thanks. So.
Oh, the internet's gone for a sec again.
I'm back.
There you are.
I think a disaster today.
Yeah.
I had no ingredients.
How is it that I live in the middle of nowhere? Like, how is it that I live in the middle of nowhere, like literally in the countryside on the border of Wales, and your internet's going out?
I told you, I think I broke whatever that. Considering I work in IT, I have no idea how the internet works, but I think the thing that makes the internet work in my MacBook is broken. So
we'll go with that. We'll go with that.
If that is a thing, people watching this are going to be like, "What the fuck?"
She turns out people on IT and cybersecurity, but she doesn't know how the Wi-Fi works.
No.
So I'll just put the mix in the bowl.
Okay, so you put that in the food. You put that in the food processor as well. Yeah.
Okay, I'm really lazy. Like, if I make life just a smidge easier for myself, I'm here for it.
Yeah, go for it.
Is there like, let me just pop that in the bin, wash my hands. And then, did I tell you to get an egg?
No, you did not tell me to get an egg, and I have no egg.
Do you have an egg?
No, it's fine.
You're good. All right, so then you just put that all together, and then you just mix it. You just mix it all together. I'm gonna zhuzh it. So
I'm doing it by hand because I wasn't pre-warned that I needed a food processor either.
You said recipe. You didn't say anything about. I guess that's part of a recipe.
A little bit.
Oh,
that's a quiet food processor.
look, they were done.
Easy peasy. Okay. And now I guess we're gonna
Roll them into meatballs.
Easy peasy. I like this recipe. It's good.
So simple.
Simple.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And look, if you're stressed and you're burnt out, you don't want to be spending your time cooking.
Oh yeah. If I'm stressed and burnt out, I wonder who I could talk to about that, Katie.
Look, what do you want to know? Do you want to know what burnout actually is?
I think that's a good place to start because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about what it is, and people who are just tired sometimes maybe say that they're burnt out.
Yeah, and I think that's a big issue. And the reason why people get it people are potentially making mistakes is because of the World Health Organization making it a diagnosable syndrome like 5 years ago around COVID time. Oh, actually, it was 2019, so just before COVID. Yeah. And the dilemma is, so the way I describe burnout is physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion from prolonged stress. I put a full stop there. Paraphrasing the World Health Organization, they'll say it's, again, the same thing, physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion from prolonged stress. That's a workplace phenomenon. And I just kind of don't think that's a relatively fair thing to say because not everyone's just stressed from work. Sometimes it's a combination of work and home. So I like to put a full stop there because you're a whole human being. It's not like you're like, oh, I'm stressed at home, something else is going to happen to me, but I'm stressed at work, I'm going to burn out. It's completely, that's not how it works. But essentially, when we look at what burnout is, it's not just being tired. It's not about just being fatigued. It's like that deep bone weary tiredness. So it's like you can't get out of bed. You can't do the things that you normally do. And we're not just talking about I can go to the gym today. It's like you physically getting out of bed is exhausting. It takes a massive toll on your physical health. So typically when people are burnt out, there's some type of physical health issue, whether it's like issues with inflammation or issues with their immune system, so they're getting sick more frequently, they can't get over it. So to give you an idea, like when I was burning out, so leading up to my burnout, I had 4 bouts of shingles before I was 25. That's not normal. It's because my body was under so much pressure and stress that my body couldn't keep up. So there's that. And I think that when we're talking about the emotional side, we're talking about anxiety, but we're not talking about, oh, I'm anxious about going to a meeting. It's that panic attack, it's that overwhelm where it's literally rendered you inactive. And then we're looking at the mental side, so the way that we process information. It's like you can't process information. So you could be in a conversation, you could be saying something, I could hear it, I could see your mouth moving, I have no idea what you're saying to me though, because my brain can't rationalize what you've said. That's what burnout is. It's not just like, oh, I'm a bit tired today, I'll take the morning off and go for a run this afternoon, I feel better. Like, that's not what it is.
Yes. Yeah. No, I think it's important that people kind of understand that, because I think am I back? Yeah, I'm back. I think it's important people get that, because it's kind of like when people confuse the difference between like being depressed and having a bad day.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with anxiety as well. People going like, oh, I'm just really anxious today. It's like anxiety, you can be anxious or stressed about an event. So for instance, there's 2 types of anxiety. I'm just going off on tangent now. Let's put the meatballs in the oven.
Okay.
So there's 2 types of anxiety, right? There's the anxiety as a state. So that's like, I'm really anxious about, I don't know, going to this job interview, setting up my business. But what will happen is you will go do it and the anxiety will disappear and you'll be fine. But then there's anxiety as a state. And anxiety as a state is there's not something directly in front of you that's causing your anxiety. It's more of it's kind of, no, that's a state, this is a trait. Anxiety is a trait. It's kind of like the way you would see a personality. I don't like saying anxiety is like a personality, because I had that for a long period of time. It took me ages to overcome anxiety, but it's something that there's nothing in front of you that's causing your anxiety. It's like, I'm anxious to go for a walk, I'm anxious to go to the store, I'm anxious just to cook dinner. And it's a constant worrying of really basic tasks that isn't normal.
Yeah, not like I'm just nervous because I'm doing a talk in front of 50 people or whatever.
Yeah, no, exactly. Next step, pop your cooktop on to like medium to high heat, and then pop your pan on that, because we're going to cut some onion and garlic.
Oh, good shout. Oh, yeah, I forgot it has sauce. I like sauce. Meatballs and sauce is good.
Otherwise, it's yuck. Otherwise, you're just eating a dry meatball. Who wants the dry meatball?
Very good point. Yeah, my Alexa's now going off in the background as well. There's definitely something dodgy happening with my internet today. It's not cool. I'm assuming we're not food processing this. We're actually going to be chopping. Are you actually chopping? You're actually chopping.
We're going to chop some onions.
Okay, I'm just checking.
Just half an onion, though. You don't need, unless you're making it big batches, do half an onion. Otherwise, it'll be too much.
Yeah, okay. Well, this is the hard bit of doing this program, when you're trying to chop an onion and not chop your fingers off and continue a conversation at the same time. Which is why I usually prep everything, but I did not have time today.
You prep everything? Just imagine if you prepped everything and I'm over here just like, I didn't prep nothing. But yeah.
Yes. That is what normally happens, because then I can fill in while you're doing the talking. But when neither of us are prepped.
Fair enough. So I'm just putting up 4 cloves of garlic.
Nice. We like garlic. Garlic's good. Yeah, so in terms of burnout, so we talked about kind of what it is, but like how I guess, how does it present itself other than people feeling tired? Because tired is always like the thing that we talk about, but I'm assuming there's other ways that you can kind of maybe either guess that someone's on the way down that path, or there's other ways of it presenting itself that isn't just, oh, I'm so fucking knackered.
Yeah. So realistically, burnout happens in 6 stages, and the scary part is most people don't do anything about it until they're at the end part. But let's just start from the start. We'll start with stage 1 is typically excitement. So this might be you started a new job, you're working towards a goal, whatever it is, like, but you're really excited about it. You're actually more working under pressure. So pressure and stress are 2 separate things. Pressure is actually very good to drive motivation, to drive action, to drive performance. All of the good things gives you energy. The dilemma with pressure is it's quite addictive. So you'll try and keep yourself in that situation because you get clarity of mind, you get all the problem solving, you come up with ideas, you're really creative. So, and then that drives you towards performance, but you've created potentially bad habits at that stage. So maybe you're working longer hours than you normally would. Maybe you're, sacrificing your sleep. Maybe you're not eating healthy. Maybe you're not going to the gym, all that kind of stuff. But you think, oh, it'll be fine. Like, I'll get back to it next week. But you never really do because you set a standard to maintain that level of success. And it's in your head, it's because of those habits you're not doing.
Yeah.
So then the second stage is what we call working harder. So you're physically, mentally, and emotionally doing okay. You're starting to get a little tired, but it's nothing to really write back home about. But the dilemma is that to get the same results that you were getting at stage 1, you're having to put more physical, mental, and emotional energy in to get those results. So your concentration's a bit lacking, your focus is a bit lacking, maybe you're making a little bit more mistakes, but nothing to write home about. It's just you're having to put more effort in. You might be reaching for caffeine, all that kind of stuff, in the afternoon and all that.
Yeah.
And then so we get to stage 3, and this is when we're starting to see the outward sign of it. So physically, you're tired. You are fatigued at this phase. Emotionally, this is probably the biggest changes is how you're reacting to emotion. So you might be more irritable. You might be more frustrated. You might be quicker to anger. Or you might be somebody that is starting to withdraw. You're not spending time with friends and family. You're not engaging in work conversations like you normally would, all that kind of stuff. And what's happening mentally is as well, you're starting to make more mistakes that you're having to go back and redo your work, which is causing, obviously, you a bit of stress because you're having to do the same work over and again.
Yes.
We kind of see procrastination start to kick in at this stage as well. So stage 3 is not great, and the people around you are going to notice. And at a work level, your performance is going to have dipped. The dilemma with this part is when managers don't really know why your performance is dipping, they'll typically put more pressure on you. They're like, let's put more pressure on you to like get you to perform better, which never works, right? Especially if you're on the road to burnout. The next stage is what I call illness and anxiety. So stage 4 is illness and anxiety. So your body has been under the pump for probably quite a few months. It might be 6 months, it might be 7 months, maybe a year. Everyone's different, right? But your health is starting to take its toll. So stress has such a profound impact on the body. It lowers your immune system, it wreaks havoc on your gut health, and it increases your inflammation. So you can see things like gut health issues arise with this. You're getting sick more frequently. I mean, I ended up with like cold sores all over my face. It was horrid.
Yeah, I saw the picture of that on is it this morning you put it on LinkedIn?
Yeah, I did. I do put it on LinkedIn a little bit because I'll pop some oil in the pan now.
Oh yeah, I did that.
Just
already.
You did that already. Now pop the onions and garlic in.
Yeah.
So that's stage 4. And then stage 5 is what we call apathy. So the thing is with apathy, it's not that you don't care, it's you don't have the capacity to care. So big difference, right? So you might have joined a job that you really like. You might love your job, but there's a part of you that's just like, I can't care what happens next.
Yeah.
Which is not great because that's when people start to disengage. They start to have that presenteeism.
I'm guessing that's just from like overwhelm of all of the stuff and all the stress and all of the I mean, I'm not going to pretend to know what the chemical reactions are in your brain when you're stressed. Cortisol, is it?
Well, you've got cortisol and adrenaline, right? So they will be pumping through your body. But yeah, so you've got cortisol and stuff happening in there, but you've also got obviously anxiety that's kicking off as well at stage 4. And what your brain does is it's like, I can't really cope with this, so let's shut everything down.
Yeah.
And that's where apathy comes from. And I think we're probably seeing quite a bit of that. Apathy can come from other places as well, but that's it. And then the final stage of burnout is obviously burnout. And that is that complete physical, mental, and emotional exhaustion. So physically, you're not doing well. Like, you're really not doing well at all. Mentally, you can't concentrate. Like I said before, it's not like, oh, I can't like concentrate because I've got something else. It's actually a lot worse than that. It's like, I can't even, like, I remember going into a meeting. It was like a big board meeting, and everyone was talking, and I could see their mouths moving. I could hear what they were saying, and I walked out of the meeting. I'm like, I have no idea what anyone said in there. The same thing when I tried to read emails. I was extremely forgetful when I'm normally very good at remembering things. So that was a bit frustrating. But that's really what burnout, the stages of burnout are. It's not something that's like, it can kind of feel like, oh, I just woke up and I'm burnt out. That is what happened to me, but that's because I was actively ignoring everything else that was going on.
Yeah, but I think when you work in a stressful job, so is it, you're in sales, weren't you, when you burnt out?
Yeah, I was in recruitment.
Yeah, but so I think when you work in a stressful job, I mean, sales, recruitment, anything with a set target on your head. Cybersecurity, when people are doing incident response and it's like fucking keep going all day, we've got new shit happening, whatever. And you've got
also
people shouting at you and customers shouting at you, and you've got people saying, you need to get this fixed right now. All that kind of pressure. I think because you're kind of, you put yourself in a job that you know is stressful, so you're like, well, I should be able to deal with it.
Yeah.
You're used to being able to kind of thrive on pressure, so you're just like, yeah, I mean, this is fine. I'm used to this. And see, I think it kind of sneaks up on you because, like you said, once you, it is addictive working under pressure because you're like, yes, I'm amazing. I've done it at the last minute, hit the deadline, whatever. Yeah. And if you get off on that, then you'll keep chasing it. So it kind of, the pressure gradually increases, and maybe you don't kind of notice really that slip into it.
You don't, and it's interesting when you start to see it. Like, if I run a business now, like, it's fun, I love it, but it's just stressful. Pop the sauce in now, like the tomato, put the canned tomato in.
Oh yeah.
And then the passata
on it. Did we put mushrooms in this as well?
Yeah, we will. Just in a sec. I'm not cooking them first.
Okay, cool. Just checking.
I did actually forget for a second, so thank you for reminding me. I'm going to go grab some stuff out.
Just because I'm sat looking at some mushrooms, and I was like, I think they're going in somewhere.
They're going in. That's good. But we create the base of the sauce first.
Cool.
The sauce will definitely need some salt and pepper for sure.
Yes.
Well, that's bubbling away. I'll grab my stuff.
Yeah, what was I saying? I think you kind of gradually slip into it, don't you? That's, I think, why it gets missed a lot.
I think as well, when you've got such a stressful, like, your job is stressful and you thrive under pressure as well. Like, I do thrive under pressure. You put me in any high pressure situation, I'll thrive. But it's when you're not recognizing that slip from working well under pressure. So even at stage 1, if you're not recognizing you're slipping over into actual stress, that's when it gets you. And that's the dilemma. And a lot of it comes down to, you know, I mean, personally, I always talk to my clients. We always start with my clients getting the basics right. So we lay a good foundation of physical things they can be doing. So, like, how can you get a better night's sleep? Can you be exercising a little bit more? Can you, could you be, you know, eating a bit healthier? Like, all that kind of stuff. and the reason why we do that is to create a bit more space so you can then tackle stress more effectively. Because if you're completely wiped out and you're going like, I need to manage my stress, and you go and try and meditate and do yoga and do ice baths or whatever the cool kids are doing these days, there's not really, that's a band-aid fix. It's actually way deeper than that, because the way that you manage stress actually starts when you were a kid. So you've got habits, actions, and behaviors on how you respond to stress, and it's automatic. So being able to break it down and understand, okay, how do I gain control of something that is an automatic response? That's where all the work is, but it takes time.
Yeah, and I think what you said earlier is really interesting. People think it's a work-related thing. I know you said the World Health Organization says it's a work-related thing, but it can't be, because I was just, when you're sitting there going, oh yeah, do an ice bath and meditate and all this shit, I get stressed out thinking about people who have a whole routine of doing that shit, and I'm like, mate, that just sounds, just doing all that stuff sounds super stressful to me. Having a skincare routine that's like 19 steps would fill me with dread, because I'm like, I haven't got time for this shit.
Exactly. And I think as well, I will say this from the bottom of my heart. Most of my clients will come to me and go, this is my routine in the morning. I don't get why I'm stressed. So they're like, I meditate, I ice bath, I go for a run, I do all these things, but I'm still stressed out. And I'm like, yeah, because you're not engaging in it. Like, you're doing it as a way to make your stress go away, but you're not actually then dealing with the stress. I can't explain it other than that. People might be like, what are you talking about? But if you do meditation and you're not engaging in meditation, what's the benefit? Like, what was the point of it? If you're just doing an ice bath to try and get the physiological responses to go from the fight or flight to rest and digest, but you're not managing why you're in the fight or flight response, like, what can you really do about that? So
it's like self-care is a sticking plaster rather than addressing the underlying causes of it. So if you're stressed out about, I don't know, work, or if you're stressed out about you've got kids that are annoying as shit, which I'm sure most people do, then, you know, not if you're not addressing those things first, and you're just going, right, I'm going to fix it by doing more things,
it doesn't work.
It compounds the problem.
It's like, okay, maybe put a dash of water in. I just think it might be, I don't know if yours is a bit too thick, but just like a smidge of water, like a quarter cup of water. Yeah, I think that's the thing, right? Like, I used to do that. Like, in my 20s, I was like, I'm going to get up at 4 a.m. I actually did used to do this. I'd get up at 4 a.m., work on my side hustle, meditate, go to the gym, you know, have a nice breakfast. And then I'm on the train at like 7:30, like, why am I exhausted?
Yeah,
because I'm just on like
already.
And then also I've not slept because, you know, in my head, I don't need to sleep. Why would I need to sleep? Okay, once your sauce is bubbling, take the meatballs out of the oven and pop the meatballs in the sauce and then put a lid on it.
Okay, cool. Have you thrown mushrooms into yours? It looks like.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't tell you. I put mushrooms, olives, and spinach in.
Excellent. I'm going to put a bit more passata in mine. One sec.
I'm really good at giving directions.
I stupidly showed off about having the little teeny tiny passata before we started recording, and now I need more passata, and the only one I've got is a massive one. Oh no, wait, I've got one in the fridge. We're good.
We're good.
We're good. Oh no, we're not good. But yeah, so I think, I don't know what I think. I can't remember what I was going to say then. That's because I'm really, really tired. I'm not burnt out, but I am really fucking tired, Katie. So what should you do? Here's a question, because I am on that path, I think. So what should you do if you feel like you're going down the path towards burnout? What steps should you be taking? So we're saying I don't have to get up at 5 a.m., meditate and have a cold shower. Thank fuck for that. So
Honestly, the thing that I would say, the first step for everybody is get into a better sleep routine if you can. I know stress can prevent you from sleeping, but try and get into a better sleep routine. So going to bed at the same time, waking up at the same time, limit your caffeine, limit your alcohol before bed. And just if you can just do that, it's amazing if you can get a full night's sleep, how much space you have to deal with stress. So that'd be my first thing. Obviously, do the basics, like do a little bit of exercise. If all you can do is a 5-minute walk in the morning, do a 5-minute walk in the morning. Like, you don't need to be overhauling your life or anything. If all you have the space to do is go outside and get some sunshine and fresh air and leave all your tech inside, do that. Give yourself what I call stealing pockets of time for you to do restorative stuff that fills your cup. So I know you're really busy. I know that you're like, I don't know how many boards you're on right now, but I feel like it's a few. If you can steal 5 minutes to do one thing that you really like yourself, that's restorative. Like scream into a pillow, I don't know. You do you. Do it. Like, it's called what we call you're a mum as well, and that's hard. So being able to steal pockets of time for you that's going to be restorative for you, do that. If you can get your diet to be a little bit healthier, do that. Like, that's going to help prevent the physical stuff. And what that does is it gives you more capacity to deal with the stress, but it also gives you the space to then look at, okay, what is my stress? Where is it coming from? How am I reacting to it? What are my thought process based around it? A lot of what I do with my clients is we have to change their belief systems around stress. Like, we talked about a belief system, which is I thrive under pressure, I thrive under stress. So, like, why can't I put more stress on myself? Like, having to change that kind of stuff is important. So you need to pop your water on.
Oh, for pasta. Yeah, I'm not making pasta with mine, so I will not pop water on. I'll just carry on talking. So with your clients, so you work with business owners, sales teams, managers, I'm guessing.
So business leaders, so CEOs, MDs, typically C-suite. I do work with leadership teams as well. So I've actually got a new program coming out that I might pitch on here if I'm allowed. And then I work with teams as well. So I kind of go top down, bottom up. So helping everyone meet in the middle, which is important. Yes.
Do you find that women or men deal better with stress?
Okay, that's a good question. I think from every research that we've got, women burn out more than men, but it's typically because of the workload in and outside of work. So women will burn out quicker than men. Does that mean women are less resilient than men? Not always. It just means women will burn out at a higher rate. Women are more likely to seek support rather than bury their heads in the sand. Not all women, obviously this is very generalized, but women will typically go get support before shit really hits the fan. So that's typically what happens. Most of my clients are men, so I will say from work, I do work with women, but working with my men and my women, my men are usually quite far down path, and they put on a really good mask. They're like, I have burnout, I think, but they're like deadpan, and they like, there's no emotion behind it, and you like, if you're not paying attention, you're like, what'd you say?
Yeah,
like I've just got the mail. It's like,
I think I don't think that is surprising to me to hear.
I didn't. It wasn't surprising. Whenever I read the research, I'm like, that's not surprising.
Yeah, fair. Cool. What else can you tell us, Katie?
What else can I tell you? I think something that I've done a lot of research in the last few years is understanding stress behaviors. And so it's really interesting because we all have a set of behaviors that we will do when we feel stressed out. So for me, you put me in a stressful situation, I'm more likely to take control. I will probably try and get things done quicker, and because that makes me feel better. I feel more comfortable with that. Some people might people please, some people might go into procrastination, some people might not make decisions.
I think I'm like you. Whenever my mum can always identify when I'm in a shit mood. Well, when I'm stressed out because I get into a shit mood, and then she's like, "Amy, get a piece of paper and a pen, write a list of things you can do, and then start doing them. Just do the list." So if you think she's like, you're in a bad mood because you've lost control of the situation. So take control of the situation and just write down everything you've got to do, and then just start doing the ones that you can. And the ones that you can't, they don't fucking matter because you can't do them.
That's exactly how. It's a really good coping mechanism, because why stress about something you can't control, right? Like.
But a lot of people do that, though.
Pardon?
A lot of people do stress about things they can't control.
Yeah, so a lot of people will talk about, the saying, this riles me right up, but when people go, people don't leave bad jobs, they leave bad managers.
Yeah.
Really pisses me off. The reason why it pisses me off is because most bad managers are actually probably managing from a place of stress, discomfort. They probably don't really know what they're doing, and they're just trying to gain control. So like everyone's like, I've got a micromanaging boss. It's like, but why is he micromanaging? It's probably because he's not been trained, or she hasn't been trained enough to manage that. They don't have the EQ for it. They might know how to get the numbers, but they might not know how to manage you as a person. And so it's more like, in my head, I'm like, you don't leave a bad manager, you leave somebody that's not responding to stress well, and the organization isn't set up to help people manage stress properly. So that's sort of what.
So what should businesses be doing? Because like we said, the stress isn't necessarily a work problem. Like, if I'm super stressed out because I've got loads of shit going on at home, and then I go to work, it's not for work to fix me.
No.
And they wouldn't be able to, because it's shit at home that's causing me to be stressed out. So we always put this onus and emphasis on what jobs should we be doing and what companies should be doing, and saying there's a toxic workplace because they just don't get me, blah, 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 blah. What do you think, in your experience, what should companies be doing, and where should we draw the line with that?
Okay, so great question. When it comes to businesses, one of the things that we talk about is we look at this overall, how is everyone dealing with stress in their overall organization? We look at the reasons why these people are stressed out. So so I've got this thing that we call the stress behavior index. So we look at the behaviors that are coming out of work. We see what people are saying around stress, and then we look at the key areas that they have to take responsibility of. So it's helping them understand, this is what you're responsible for. You're responsible for creating an environment where people can come to work, do their job, do it efficiently and effectively, and managing stress when it comes up. Look, you can't, there's no such thing as a job where you're not going to get stressed out. It's just not the way the world works. Life will always throw you curveballs. But that's their responsibility. Now, what they can do is they can create, they can have, I always talk to my managers, because I talk to a lot of leaders. So when they come to me what am I meant to do when someone's really stressed out? They're not performing and all that stuff. And I'm like, well, it depends on what you need, what they need from you. Do you need to signpost them on? Do you have a strategy to get these people support? And what can you do? And asking, what do they need from you in this moment? Because there have been times where you've got a really great employee who actually just needs a little bit of time off to go deal with what's ever happening at home, and finding what that looks like, or lightening their load so they can focus on that stuff. If you're in a situation to do that, it's not that rocket science. But I do actually think there has to be, and I think that this is a difficult part, is being able to say, this is your responsibility, and then this is why I work with the employees. I would directly say, and this is your responsibility. It's your responsibility to implement the right strategies, putting boundaries in place, enforcing boundaries. And that's something that's really important for employees. And I think people don't always want to hear that. So I don't know. I'm not always a crowd favorite when I go into organizations, but I think that's something we've got to stop I don't like the blame game. I think that's not helpful for anyone. I think acknowledging what's contributing, owning that, and then finding a solution.
Yeah, I think that's a really good point. The fact that the company obviously has a responsibility to not be fucking overloading you and saying, I need you to do overtime and I need you to do X, Y, Z. But you as a person, the employee, also have a responsibility to communicate what your boundaries are with the business and go, look, I can do overtime twice this month, but if I do any more than that, that's stressing me out. Or I've got these things going on at home, so I need X at work. But I think people are like super, I don't know, scared, reticent, worried, whatever, to have those kinds of frank discussion. But then I think that comes back to the culture of the workplace, which is, are we an open enough culture where if I go and tell my manager I've got this shit going on and I need a fucking, I don't know, break for a week, is that gonna look bad? Am I gonna look bad for having a discussion, or am I gonna feel supported? So I think the whole thing then comes back to organizational culture.
It's always organizational culture. And I always say the way people respond to stress in your organization is going to give you, I mean, everyone's got their own ways to deal with it. But if someone says to me, we've got really toxic teams, I'm like, you've got a team that has probably been created that they're behaving towards certain actions, habits, or behaviors that's causing stress. So when I go into sales teams, I'm like, we've got a really toxic sales team. They steal sales. They don't collaborate. They don't work together. And then I go look at the commission structure and you're only really rewarding the top performer. That's not really creating an environment where they want to collaborate, is it? So like really understanding what could be contributing to that. And the other thing is as well, when someone's in a stressful situation for a long enough period, they will go into survival mode. And when you're in survival mode, all you're thinking about is, how am I going to survive this situation? Screw my team. I don't care about my team or my manager. I need to just get through this. And that's kind of like that apathy phase and anxiety phase where you're just trying to protect yourself. And if you've got enough people on a team, you can have one person on a team, and if they do that, that's going to cause stress on the rest of the team. But if you've got a whole team doing that, your company is not going to be functioning. There could be a whole team not doing their job efficiently or effectively because for whatever reason, workload's too high, the manager isn't the right manager, or the manager hasn't had enough training, all that kind of stuff. Like, that's on you to fix.
No, I think that's mega interesting to think about how it is from both the company and the person need to be part of that, because it's got to be balanced. But then to enable that level of communication to happen and for it to be effective, the company has got to make sure that they're putting the right, like, it's weird to see how kind of your KPIs can basically affect the culture of your team.
Yeah. But again, then it's looking at, so like this is what I do with companies as well. I'll go in and we'll have a conversation. I'm like, okay, what's your wellbeing strategy? And they'll tell me this really robust wellbeing strategy. She's like, oh, they can work 4 days a week, unlimited mental health days, unlimited holidays, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, amazing. What's your business strategy for the next 12 to 18 months? Like, what are you working on? What projects do you have coming up? What products are you launching? We get to the understanding of what they're trying to achieve in the next 12 to 18 months. And there's we're right now where companies are at, a lot of them are just trying to get to baseline, right? There's a lot going on with business. There's a lot of people's profits have nosedived. And so they're just trying to survive. And so when you look at that, and then they've got these ideas of launching new products or whatever it is, and you're looking at the team and the team's already like, I'm pissed off because we've been doing this for too long now. Your business strategy is not going to align. Your wellbeing strategy is not fit for purpose. Yeah. So you then need to think about your business strategy and then look at the team you have. Are they even capable of executing that business strategy? Because if they're not, you're going to then potentially have bad habits, behaviors towards your employees because they're not performing, rather than going, why aren't they performing? Whereas the team are they even capable of taking on this extra workload? So really understanding that
and they're just paying, and then the business ends up just paying lip service to the well-being strategy by saying, well, yeah, you can have unlimited mental health days, but like not today.
But you can have unlimited mental health days, but there's no but they kind of, there's this like unspoken, yeah, but we've got this project launch. I can't take that because I'm leading this project. Like, it doesn't make sense. It's like, not crazy. That's not realistic.
And then that causes like a further rift between the business and the employees, which then perpetuates the toxic behavior. It's so interesting to see how it all kind of fits together, and how, yeah, the well-being piece is so instrumental to kind of see that in tandem with, like you said, like what the business strategy is and where the business is going.
Yeah.
If those two things contradict each other,
yeah,
then you're going to end up in the shit.
Well, you're gonna really piss. You're gonna have that. People aren't gonna trust you, and it's also two things are gonna happen. The team isn't gonna trust you, and then on the flip side, you're gonna get frustrated at your team, and then you're going to generate potential toxic behaviors because your team's not performing, and then it ends up being this vicious cycle. And it's not right. And I'm not sitting here saying you need to have unlimited mental health days and you need all of that. I'm just saying be really conscious of what you're saying to your team. And look realistically what you can do. Like, is your business strategy aligned with where your team's at? Do they have the resources they need? And we're not talking just like physical resources. We're talking like emotional, mental, all that stuff. And then, and also just reflecting, like, what has the last 12 months been? What's the last 3 years been? Like, have we made redundancies and made no hires and expected everyone to keep the same pace? Like, let's have a chat about that, right? Like, that'd be fun. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I think that's, as a business owner, that's giving me quite a lot to think about, actually, about like, what do I expect from my team? And I mean, we've got a lot of fucking projects going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I think that's been super insightful conversation to kind of get an understanding of, from my individual perspective, like what burnout looks like and where, and kind of when you should be kind of, I guess, maybe not taking a step back, but kind of thinking about prioritizing your own health. And then it's been interesting from a business owner perspective to think about how the things that I might be asking my team to do from an operational perspective actually can negatively impact themselves because they're too stressful, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, like, it's like, if you, like, I know for myself, like, I'm somebody that's like always got something on the go. Like, I'm always like launching something, right? Like you. But then I have to take a step back. I'm like, do I have the physical, mental, and emotional capacity to actually get this done to the level that it needs to get done? If the answer is no, it's like, okay, postpone for like however long I need. And then go from there. Because here's the thing, burning yourself out is not the answer. The reason, like, I've actually shifted doing a lot of talks. So one of my signature talks, my keynote talk, is talking about the 6 stages of burnout. But I've actually changed that out, and I'm actually talking about pressure, stress, and boundaries. Because the minute someone burns out, it takes them at minimum 8 months, but can take up to like 3 to 5 years to fully overcome from burnout. So it's absolutely useless for most people. Once someone's on once you're at the 4, 5, 6 stage, you're out. You're getting signed off with from work. You're not able to do what you need to do. And as a business owner, that's terrifying, because if your business isn't set up for you to be able to take huge amounts of time out, you got an issue.
Yeah.
So that's the way to look at it.
Yes. No, I think that's very, very interesting. I'm guessing you're hungry. Yeah, that looks amazing. Well done. I'm impressed. You're actually a good chef. Who knew?
Pardon?
Said you're actually a good chef. Who knew?
Who knew? The nutrition in me, the nutritionist comes out. Do you know, nutritionist doesn't mean you're a good cook, but I try. I hate terrible tasting food. So I'm like, I used to be like that 10-year-old in the kid watching all the cooking shows and like pretending to do a cooking show. So like, I'm living out my 10-year-old dream right now.
Oh, there we go then. I'm glad we've made 10-year-old Katie happen.
There we go. Well, I'm hopefully whoever's watching this, you got something out of it.
Fingers crossed. Where can people find you if they want to either see lots of pictures of you on LinkedIn with during burnout?
I love it when you internet
Physical effects of burnout on people. And am I back again? I'm back.
No, you're back again now.
Yeah. Where can people find? Where can people find you?
You can LinkedIn my name or Google my name, and it'll take you to my LinkedIn where you can see some pretty gross pictures of coleslaw that literally overtook my face. And when I say literally, I'm not just saying that like hyperbole. It actually really did take over my face. So come look at my LinkedIn. Check out my website. So it's Gist Wellbeing. So GYST wellbeing.com. I've got loads of articles on there. That's how you can reach out. I am redoing the website, so some of the programs that are on there are a little bit out of date. But if you've come from here, just reach out. We can have a chat about what we can actually do for you and your organisation.
Cool. Thanks, Katie. And we will be back next week with another episode of Unicorn Chef. Hopefully, I will be less stressed because I will have taken all of Katie's fantastic advice. Thanks, everyone.